Hello and welcome to the Hobby CNC with Dave show. Thanks for tuning in tonight. I think we'll have a good show for you. We're doing another question and answer panel discussion, I guess you'd call it. So if you have any questions, CNC or I guess pretty much anything, just stick them in the chat. If you would put a Q in front of them, make it easy for my buddy Ryan to pick him out of there. And speaking of Ryan, let's just add him in here. Here we go. How you doing, Wolfman?
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Same old stuff. And also we've got Paul's joining us back tonight. How you doing, Paul?
Great. Thanks for having me on.
All righty, anytime. And we got Sean coming back. How you doing, Sean?
Doing wonderful, thank you.
And we're still missing somebody. We're going to see if they show up here in a little while or not. I don't know. I don't know where they're at. I hadn't heard from them, but I do know they got the link. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But anyway, we're here to just kind of take your questions and everything. We do have not one but two giveaways tonight. Let me talk about those a little bit. I mentioned, our usual giveaway is sponsored by Cadence Manufacturing and Design. That's my good buddy Cody Elkins. And we will be giving away this week. He kind of mixes it up. We're going to be doing the Mini Jenny. So that's the one we're going to be doing a little bit later. And then we also have the stuff I mentioned last week. If you weren't here last week, then you didn't hear me talk about this. But I've got some 3D printer upgrade stuff that was sent to me by a company. It's a PEI sheet, a really nice magnetic sheet, and they also have a dual Z-axis upgrade kit, and the company's name is Hictop, Hictop. So if you would, I thought I already had this done, but I guess I didn't. Just so I can give you the heads up on this, when we do the drawing, we'll do the drawing for the 3D printer stuff first. But when we get ready to do that, you'll want to put in hashtag Hictop, Hictop, just like it is there on the screen. So do that. And then if you want to get in on the other drawing that we'll probably be doing a little later in the show for the Mini Jenny, you want to put hashtag Mini. So I'll let you know that up front, and I'll be mentioning that again a little later in the show when we get ready to do the drawings. But I figure I would give you a heads up. And in fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and get that giveaway tool set up for the first one. It's just so it can be collecting the things.
Yeah. The Dual Z is for an Ender 3, right?
Yes. In fact, both these items are for an Ender 3. And I will, let me just show you. I showed these last week, I think. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, you'll notice that I'm here in the office. But if you're joining tonight and thinking to yourself, oh man, I was going to ask Dave a question and it was hoping he could show me something on his CNC, I am just steps away from my garage. So I have all that set up so I can always just get up, walk a few steps and be right there. So if there's a question where you need me to show something, I'm happy to do that. This is the PEI plate from, again, the company's name is Hictop. And I was looking at that just before I went live here. This thing is really slick. And it's the perfect size for my machine. But I already promised I'd give it away, but look at this thing. It's really nice. Got the nice textured thing, and the way this works, I peeled back a corner. It's got this little magnetic sheet, and it's got sticky on the back of it. So you would peel this off, stick that to the bed, and then the whole thing, if I can get it out of here. Yeah, there we go. You can see how the magnet part comes off. So, which would make it really nice. Mine is the stock thing, and you have to use the little binder clips and all. So, I should have looked at this closer before I said I'd give it away. Because now I'm probably going to have to. Now I'm going to have to use that link. Do what?
The PEI sheets like that, they're really good for printing PLA. If you're doing like ABS or some of the hotter stuff, they don't work as well because of the magnetism with the heat. But especially for doing PLA, they're really awesome because they just pop right off.
Yeah. Okay, and that's pretty much all I run. I have run some other stuff back when I had them 3D printers before. And this I haven't opened up just because I don't want to mess it up and lose any of the parts. But this is the Ender 3 dual Z-axis upgrade kit. So we're going to give both of those away tonight. I'll probably do them just with one drawing, and whoever wins it will get both of those items because they're both for the same kind of machine. So let's see. Man, I'm already way behind on the comments here. I guess you're keeping an eye on them.
Yep.
Ryan, let me know if we. Okay, you already got a couple starred here. So let's go ahead and jump into these. John Thompson says, why is it I hear some CNC sound like a jet when moving? Mine doesn't have that sound. Well, they can sound different, I guess, probably because of the depending on what you're using for linear motion. You know, my Avid with the rack and pinion sounds much different than my Gatton CNC that has the Acme lead screws. So I'm guessing that that would be part of the difference. Maybe the size of the stepper motors and stuff too. Harry's got a question for Sean. He says, is that a Laguna IQ 24x36?
Yes, well, mostly yes, for the most part.
Okay, you want to elaborate on that? Or?
The controller has been totally rebuilt, so it's now running Mach 3 instead of the handheld. Replaced the drivers and went to a USB card, 5-channel, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about that a little bit before we went live. That he said he got a deal on it, but he had to switch up the controller and stuff. So, all right, I've done clicked off that now. I can't find that. Oh, there it is. There's that question. Okay, I think that's all in for right now. All right, let's while we're waiting on more questions to come in, what do you got going on at the homestead there, Ryan? Got anything exciting going on? Did you do any lumber shopping for the shop?
No, well, I was at Lowe's today, and yes, a 2x4x8 is now $8.
Holy
It's
cow!
chilling. $8 for a 2x4. So it's I got to hurry up and grab the wood I need for the shop soon before it gets even worse. But
Man.
I do need to point out that I have to hand it to Paul tonight. Paul is dressed exactly identical to the chair that's behind him, and he looks awesome. And that chair looks awesome.
So I'm coordinated with my background. I can just blend right in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on it, man. You're on it.
It looks good. It kind of matches that chair back there.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. John says, I have a Gatton with your recommended stepper online setup. Okay. Well, I don't know what you would expect it to sound like. And it also, I mentioned what kind of linear motion you have, what kind of steppers you have, what size, and also, it could be your settings. If you have your resolution set real high, or if you have it set real low, it will make a different sound.
I noticed when I was initially setting up my machine, the amperage that I was pushing made a difference. I don't know why, but when I started out, real low on the amperage on my controller, just to make sure I didn't break stuff.
Let the magic smoke out.
And, yeah. And as I ramped up the amperage on through the steppers, it made more noise.
Yeah, but it ran smoother though, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Larry's pointing out that my shirt matches my flag in the background.
Okay.
So we're two of a kind, Paul.
Right. That's good.
All
Hey,
right.
Dave, there was a question back a ways. Stephen Zumbach said, what's the best way to take a 2D image like a picture and create it into a 3D relief curve?
Oh, 3D relief carve.
Yeah, that must be, carve, yeah.
Well, if you're wanting to do 3D work, you're probably going to need to be thinking about a spire or something, something similar to that. You're not going to do it with VCarve Pro and stuff like that, but you can. And I'm not we got Mark Lindsay in the house here. He's the one to ask about the Vectric questions, especially about Aspire and stuff. And I don't know if he's covered a whole lot of that yet, but I'm sure he's getting to it if he hadn't already. So, but yeah, you can. Let me see if I can find that question, because he said something. Oh, here it is. Best way to take a 2D image like a picture and create it into a 3D relief. Well, see, I haven't done that because I don't have Aspire, and I don't do enough 3D stuff to be able to justify buying it. But it's really pretty simple to take a 2D image of something, like online, and at least create vectors. And then from what you would do with it after that to create the 3D relief carving, that would be beyond anything I've ever done, because I don't have, like I said, I don't have Aspire, so I can't speak to that. But I can show you. And let me get another window open here, and I will share something. Maybe it'll help somebody out there. Let's see if I can do this.
He just expanded more on that, Dave. He says he's tried Aspire and it worked out fairly well, except, oh, there, you got it up. Yeah.
Except for all the white stuff like teeth show up like buck. Is that supposed to be buck teeth? I'm not sure I understand what he's getting at there. But anyway, let me just show you real quick. And I've shown this before. Like I said, this may be helpful. sometimes if you want to try to find something to draw, you can go to Google. Google's your friend. And let's say, I don't know, let's name, I'm trying to think of something. What do we got coming up here? Mother's Day. We'll just put that, and then we'll come to images just to see what pops up here for Mother's Day. This is all text stuff. That probably wasn't a good example. Let me use something else. Let's just say I'm just going to put in a cow. We're going to look for cows. So you come here and you find lots of pictures of cows, and then you can go to this. I think it's tools, and you can search by usage rights, which would be copyright stuff and all that, or you can. I always select either a line drawing because that will change it all to stuff like this. And again, I'm not saying, hey, go get something that's copyright. Be careful about that. But just for an example here, let's say I like this cow right here. So I could get this cow right here, and I could, I'm going to put my glasses on to do it.
That's a good looking heifer.
Yeah, that's a good looking cow, isn't it? Okay, yeah, they want $12 for it. Well, I'm not going to use it. I'm just using it for this demonstration. But
That's utterly ridiculous.
It is utterly ridiculous, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to put it here on the desktop. So now we've got the picture of the cow. Now let me go to my Vectric VCar Pro. And it's going to take a minute to open because I got all these windows open here. Okay, let me swing it
let's
over
get
here.
moving.
Oh, he's full of them tonight, isn't he? Look
is.
at him. He's on a roll. Okay. All right. So let's just create a new file. I'll just take whatever that is, and then we will import the bitmap, and I'll go find my cow. I put him on the desktop. Her, I should say. There we go. So there's my good looking cow, and then I would come over here to the bitmap trace, and I usually turn all the fading off. Get that. Hit apply, close it, and then we'll come over here and turn that off, and there we go. There we've got. You might, depending on how clean your image is that you get off the internet, you may have to do some cleanup and stuff, or you may be able to use it just like it is. So I know how to get to this point for like 2D stuff, but I don't know how helpful that's going to be to answer your question to do the 3D stuff. One, for sure, you're going to have the software that can do all the stuff like Aspire can do. Even if it's not Aspire, you're going to have something similar. So I don't know if that helped or not, but I've shown that, those kind of examples before with people are, trying to figure out something to make with their machine, and they're like me that have zero creativity. You just figure out what you want to make. You go online and look for it. Pull it in like that. And in fact, I didn't show it here, but I could, let's see here. If I just come straight here, let me just take this cow just like it is. And we'll probably better make it a little bigger. Still fit. Okay. Yeah, it's going to fit in there. So let me just take this cow just like she is. And we'll come over here and we'll just put a little V tool path. There's a 1/4 inch 60-degree V bit. So I can get There we go. There's a cat, and you saw how little work. I didn't really do anything. I just pulled it in, did the bitmap trace, and then put one toolpath on it, and that's not a bad looking cow if I say so myself. But again, the 3D car relief carving stuff you're talking about is different. This is really simple stuff compared to that. And I would suggest you tune into Mark Lindsay CNC. If you're not already watching him, you should be. And he does a Sunday night, or not Sunday night, Sunday live Q&A every Sunday at, let's see, let me get my time straight. It's 3 p.m. my time, Eastern, 12 noon Pacific his time. So check him out. And like I said, that probably didn't help you at all for what you want to know. But
Harry corrected me. It wasn't a fine-looking heifer. Heifer is a female bovine that has never calved, so that was incorrect.
Okay.
I misclassified.
Right. That sounds like a guy who knows his cows right there.
I live around them, but I know nothing about cows.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the super chat there, JR. Appreciate you. He says, smash that button, y'all. Okay. Okay, did I miss something here? Mark says he'll also help you out via email if you ask him. So Michael, let's see how you say his name. Michael Mazalik, I think is how you say it. He's a 3D guy too. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. So that's, like I said, I'm very limited on what I can do. I can bring a picture in and do something like that pretty quick. The only reason I show that is because most people don't think about how you can go to Google. I showed this one time during a live stream, and people didn't realize that you can actually set it to find just line drawings. And those are way better than JPEGs or bitmaps and stuff like that, because they're already lined. So they usually trace very well. Like I said, I didn't do anything to it, no cleanup at all. And it's not bad for a cow. So, all right. Anything else we got going on? Any other questions? Yeah, I've got another one here. Let's see what this one is. I have an Avid Benchtop Pro 2436 and do a lot of 3D. I want to know how to stop a carve and start it back up at the same place if it's not going to take too long to explain. I can do either way. I can explain it, or I can get on hold for a minute and walk out there and show you if you want me to show you. Actually, I'll tell you what, let me try to do it here, because you get all these cows off of here. Let's see if I can get yet another window open. This really is pretty easy. It's just that you have to make sure you don't forget any steps. Now, you say you're running an Avid. What are you using for your control software? Are you using Mach 3 or Mach 4? I'm guessing you're probably using one of those two. Okay, we'll do another screen share here. All right, here is my Mach 3. And if I'm running a program, let me load something in here.
Says he's running Mach 4.
Okay, I think it's going to be similar enough to be able to do it. my explanation will make sense, I think. Okay. Now I'm not going to run this whole thing. This is a Starbucks coffee logo. That's not really a 3D carve, but it is about a 10-minute carve or so. But we're just going to pretend, for the sake of this demonstration, that this takes 10 hours instead of 10 minutes to run. But if I start this off, and it's gonna go really slow here because I don't have a machine hooked up to it. But we're just going to pretend like this is going to take 10 hours to run, and I have set my 0. I've homed my machine. I'm assuming if you got an Avid, you probably got homing, switches on it, so you're homing it every time. And then you can come. I'm just going to pull it on down here like this. So that didn't work, did it? Let me stop it. Okay, I'm going to pull it down here to about halfway. So let's say we want to stop right here. All right, one thing we have to do, we have to make sure we note the line number, and that is 5683. So I'm going to make note of that, and then I'm going to shut the machine down. I'm tired. I'm going to go in for the night, and you can shut everything down. Then you come back the next day, you load this program in, and it'll be back up at the top again. You'll want to home your machine like this, only it'll be moving around. And then if you have saved your fixture save, like if you have it set up like I do, right down here, it says optional offset save. So when you go to close out of Mach 3, or in your case Mach 4, it should ask you if you want to save that, and you can save it. Or I have mine set up to save it automatically. So it will save that, and it'll be my G54 offset. So you can load, come in the next day, fire it up, load this same program, home your machine, and then you can hit G54. Or if you have it set to, let's say you have it set to the center of the material, but you didn't zero your Z there. You did that on the bed. Well, then you don't want to hit that go to 0, because it's probably going to try to go to the bottom. It's going to go to the bed of the machine after it gets over your material. So you don't want to do that. But you can, if you know your X and Y coordinates, you can do an MDI command and move it to your X and Y and leave your Z up in the air, and then reset your Z, which I always reset the Z anyway. I don't try to do it just by homing the machine. I always reset the Z because it, for one, it doesn't take that long. And then after you get all that done, you would come to that line number that you can put it in right here, and we'll put 5683. It goes right to that line. And usually what I try to do is actually go back 2 or 3 lines before that, and then you would say run from here, and you can see how it goes. It went back just a few lines ahead of that because I was at 5683, and then you hit cycle start, and you want to make sure you have your safe Z set for a certain thing. I think I know I have it set on the one out in the shop. I wasn't sure if I had it or not, but this was set for 1 inch, so it will stay well above everything. And you won't drag, because if you have it set at 0, it's going to go dragging across the material. Don't ask me how I know that. But anyway, so you hit the cycle start. It pops up here saying, okay, it's going to make this preparation move. You hit okay, and it's going to move. You can see the Z's going up to 1 before it does anything. Now it's going to move to that position that's on that line that's highlighted there, 5679. Should be, let's see where it ends up. Yeah. So see now it's where the line right above it is. Uh, negative 3.3359, positive 0.2763, and then the Z you can see it's about an eighth inch into the material. And then you hit cycle start, and I'm assuming again if you've got an Avid, you probably got where the spindle is going to start when you hit that. If not, you need to make sure you turn that on first before you ever hit that. And that is it. It's really not hard to do. It's just a few steps. You just got to make sure you do them in the right order. And it's really important to have that safe Z something put in there. Because if you don't have anything put in there, it's by default 0. And it's going to go dragging across and ruining your workpiece. So, Tim, I hope that helps. If not, you can always come back to this tomorrow. This is all recorded on YouTube, so we're at about 37 minutes in, so you should be able to find it, and that should help you. And I've probably got at least 2 or 3 other videos and live streams showing this same thing, because I've shown this same thing many times. So one of the most popular questions you get when you're trying to show people how to do stuff is they always want to know, like, well, if I get a dadgum carb that's 20 hours, I'm not going to stand out there. You split it up into different days, run till you get tired, then shut it off. Especially if you've got homing switches. That's why we talked about homing switches the other night. It's really super easy to do. It's just, you got to remember all the steps. All right. I hope that helped.
Hey, Dave, I have a question along the same lines. If you just turn off your router or your spindle, whichever you have, if you pause the program and shut off your spindle and leave your controller or your laptop on, wouldn't you be able to go back if you wanted to and just turn your router or your spindle back on and hit start and have it go?
Well, technically, yes. You could
That's
probably.
not a good idea.
I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of when you get to a spot where you want to stop, shut everything off. Because see, if you depend on that, now let's just say, for example, Paul, I'm the only one here, just me and my dog Jack. So there's nobody here. I can't leave and run to the store and go, hey, keep an eye on this machine for me, So I could hit feed hold or which, that's like a pause. And I say something came up and I thought, oh, I forgot I have to go run down to the UPS store, pick up something, I could do it, and I might do it for just a few minutes, but for anything else, I would just shut it completely down. And, because most of the time when I'm doing that, it's something that's a long run and I'm going to shut it off and come back the next day. And like I said, if you get in the habit of thinking, well, I'm going to shut it off and tomorrow I got to go to work. And then when I get home from work, I'll unpause it. Well, what happens if the power or something goes off? I just wouldn't get in the habit of doing it. I would learn the correct way to do it by shutting everything down and then coming back, homing it. And I'm showing you on Mach 3. I'm pretty sure Mach 4 will do it. I know UC CNC will do it. I'm pretty sure even some of the, what do you call them, the G-code sender things, I think that some of those will do it. It's not hard to do. It's really not. It's just, a lot of people don't know how to do it. So it's all, smoke and mirrors to them. But really, when you get somebody to explain it, it's not that hard to do.
Now, do you run a uninterrupted power supply on your machines, on any of them?
I do not. However, I always you've heard me talk about my buddy Jim, my electrician friend. when he was putting in my spindle for my Gatton CNC, well, I say putting in my spindle, he was running the 220 because I didn't have it out there in my shop. So when he was doing all that, he added and I'm trying to think of the exact word. I think it's called a line conditioner or something. Ryan, are you familiar with stuff like that? I think that it's to help prevent spikes and stuff like that. But
Well,
anyway,
I was thinking more like if the power went out and and everything stops. If you like, I've got a whole house generator, but there's about a 15 or 20-second lag from the time the power goes out and the generator kicks in and takes over. Well, that would wipe out your whole program. Where if you had an uninterruptible power supply and your CNC was plugged into it or your controller was plugged into it, then it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, but the problem I would have, I think, is because I've got 110 running the controller and then I've got 220 running the spindles.
Oh, okay.
So, I knock on wood, I have pretty good service here as far as, power going out and stuff. I was more worried about, and Jim was more worried about the 220 not being, I don't know the right word, steady, or, he was worried about spikes and stuff like that. So he put that line conditioner thing on both machines. So, but it's for the 220, it's not for the 110. The 110 isn't really a problem. Let's see. David says, I have a brand new Gatton still in the box. Yeah, man, I hate that. I hate hearing it. Really hate that. All right. Okay.
JR had a good one.
What's that? Did I miss something?
Where'd it go? Yeah, JR had a good comment. It's past your bedtime.
Man, you guys, I had to pick cow, didn't I? You guys gave you plenty of material for that. I'll tell you what, we are about 45 minutes in. What do you say we go ahead and give away these 3D printer things?
Nice.
I've had this thing running, so we have 19 entries, and let me restate it here and give folks a few more minutes. If you want to get in on the 3D printer accessories, upgrade stuff that I'm giving away, it is the PEI plate from a company called Hictop, the magnetic PEI plate, and I also have a dual Z-axis upgrade kit that I'm going to be giving away. So that is from the company called Hictop. So if you went in on that drawing now, I see it's shooting up now. Put hashtag Hictop, and we're going to be doing that drawing here in just a couple of minutes. I'll leave that up so you can get those in. Let's see here.
Did you see Mark Lindsay had hashtag don't milk it?
Hashtag what?
Don't milk it.
Oh, yeah. You guys, I tell you. Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. You don't want the computer and controller to keep running when the spindle's stopped. That's what I'm saying. It's better if the power goes off, just leave it off, figure out a way to come back and recover from the.
My spindle's a 110, so it's everything's 110 on mine.
Okay, so
I can understand where you'd want just everything to shut off anyway. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's all right. David, are you?
Drew had
We're doing 2 giveaways tonight. This is the first of 2. We usually give away a router bit, one of the Jenny bits from Cadence Manufacturing. We'll be doing that a little later. And if you want in on that one, you want to put in hashtag mini. But right now we're getting ready to do the hashtag Hictop, and whoever wins will be getting the. And I should have mentioned too. I mentioned it last week. I'm assuming this is all going to be USA or Canada folks, because that's the only place I'm shipping this folks to. This stuff to is either USA or Canada. And also, if you don't win this thing, let's say you tuned in just for this drawing about this 3D printer stuff. There is in the video description, when you click that show more, you'll see where it says Hictop Giveaway, and there is a link to the PEI sheet and the Z-axis upgrade. And I think, let me double check something here, because I forgot to add this. There's a 25% off code, and it is, you know what, I'm going to add it to the bottom of that video right now. I don't know how I missed adding that, but yeah, if you don't win this drawing, you can still get it for 25% off if you use one of these links that I'm putting in the video description. Now you may have to refresh it since I just added that, but it's the 25% off code is Dave Gatt, DAVEGATT, and they picked that out. I didn't. So anyway, okay, we've got 33 inches. I think we're about ready. Let me get the screen shared here. Are we ready?
Good luck, everyone.
I think it's stuck on 33, so we're going to go with that. Good luck, everybody. Here we go. Mike. Let's see, Savi. I don't know, Savi. I'm not sure how you say his last name. Congratulations, Mike.
Congratulations.
You won the 3D printer accessories. And like I said, well, I know it's all good stuff, but that PEI plate, I pulled it out right before the show, and I thought, dang, that fits on my machine and everything. I should have rethought that before I decided to give that away, but I will get that to you. Mike, just let me know your shipping information. Don't put it here, but send me an email or something and send me your shipping information, and I'll get that to you. Probably take it over to the UPS store Monday or something. And then in just a little bit, we will be doing the one for the
Mini Jenny.
The mini Jenny is what it's going to be. Let me show that too. It is, so you want to put hashtag mini in for that one. And while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and get that giveaway going so that it will start collecting those things. Hashtag. Okay. So yeah, it starts collecting them right away. So we already got 16 showing. So we'll let it go, and then towards the end of the show, we'll draw for that one. All right. Any other questions that we got? Let's see. This is one. None of the machine shops I've worked at have had power backups. If the power died, we'd mostly be concerned with hitting e-stop and flipping breakers to recover in a controlled manner. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You know, I've worked a bunch of job shops and I had never seen a piece of equipment hooked to a UPS. Usually if the power, and usually in those kind of situations, the power goes off, it's going to be off a minute. You know, it's some cars hit a transformer or something, and it's going to be off a minute. Let's see. Jim says, I will say I think I have most of the parts to start building my Gatton. See now, just to finish the house remodel and start getting the shop set up. All right. All righty.
You know what? If anything, for the backups, it's good for the computer more than anything. Just that way you can control it, or you can shut it down in a controlled manner.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking through the things here. Yeah, I'm not sure what that giveaway's for. We're not giving away a cow, Mark.
Sean, tell us about the laser you got there. It looks like a big one.
It's a Morntech. It's the MTL 960. I bought it 9 years ago, and it started life as a 80 watt. Now it's 100, runs about 106 watts. It's a 2 foot by 3 foot bed, kind of the same as the Laguna, kind of like that size.
Nice.
Hate to say it, it's one of my favorite machines. Lots of models, and I do a lot of engraving.
Sweet.
Been having a lot of fun. We'd go out and get a lot of. Here, hold on one second. Well, pick up a lot of used stuff, say the wood boxes and stuff, and then we'd engrave on them and just kind of bring them back to life. It's repurposing. And then I did a lot of wooden puzzles and models.
While I'm thinking, oh, there's Mike right there. He says, our winner of the 3D stuff. Just wondered, Mike, do you have an Ender 3? I guess maybe you might have one. Or if not, you need to get one now since you have these upgrade things. That's a good excuse to tell your wife, say, yeah, I got to get one of them now. I won this stuff.
Hey, I won this stuff. Well, actually, what you could do is you can order the Ender 3 now and say, hey, you won all of it all together.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, man, look at this guy. You will need a calculator to keep up with all these entries. Holy cow. All right. Note to self, when showing how to get an image off of Google, don't pick cow. I thought Mother's Day would work good, but then I thought, well, no, that's all going to be like sayings and stuff. I was trying to find a picture or something, but you guys are quite the jokers on here. All right. I don't see any other questions. I guess everybody's just going to hang around and wait for that drawing. So I'm scrolling down here and all I see is hashtag.
Man.
All right. I think, you must be talking about, what's his name? Dang. Oh, Portal WordWorks. Yeah. Just drew a blank there. Dan's got a machine for sale. Anyone close to Fort Worth? All righty. Well,
and then Mike is actually in the process of purchasing one. So, Mike, just hey, if you happen to go to any one of my YouTube channel videos and click on the link in the description, I'd greatly appreciate it. I do have an Ender 3 listed on Amazon. You can have it in 2 days.
All right, here's a. I guess this was a question we missed. This will the program? I'm not sure what the Glen means. Well, I guess it means go back to the same exact spot it left off before the power shut down. You know, and again, it depends on what kind of stuff you're running, whether it's Mach 3, Mach 4, and how you have it set up. The way mine works is if my power goes off, it's still going to remember that G54 because as soon as I set it, it locks that in because I have that little box checked in the settings. So even if the power goes off, I would have to fire it back up, rehome the machine, and then I could look to see what the G54 settings are. And if you're setting it on, if you have your Z set on top of the material, you could hit go to 0 and it'll go right there, but it's going to come down to 0. And like I said, if you've set X and Y over the material somewhere, but you've moved off to the machine bed to set your Z, you don't want to hit that go to 0 because it'll go X 0, Y 0, and then it'll go bram right into the workpiece trying to hit that machine bed. So you don't want to hit go to 0 in that case. All right. What kind of plywood do I recommend for a Gatton CNC? Any good, fairly good grade of plywood. It doesn't have to be, a lot of guys try to use Baltic birch, and if you've got access to Baltic birch and want to use it, that's fine. But a good brand of plywood. I've been using the Pure Bond. It's made by Carolina Forest Products, and it's sold at Home Depot. And that's what I've used since day one for the Gatton CNC kits. And I use that because it's, well, for the most part, up until recently, it's readily available and used to be reasonably priced. It's not so much anymore, but it was about $85 a sheet the last batch I bought. But and it's good veneer on both sides. You can get it in red oak, maple, or birch. And I'm not a fan of the oak plywood. I don't like the oak. I won't buy that unless that's all they have. But the maple and the birch is both good. But it if you can't get that, any halfway decent looking stuff, because you're worried more about you're worried more about is it good structurally. If you got some stuff that's not necessarily pretty, that's still fine because a lot of guys paint the stuff anyway. As long as it's good quality as far as structural integrity and stuff like that. You don't want to get nothing that's going to have a lot of voids and stuff in it.
Yeah, don't get the BCX.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No.
All right. Did I miss?
Harry brings up a good point about the Pure Bond. It's
oh man, look at this. Boy, that.
Oh yeah.
Don't pick a pig either. You'll be sorry. God.
There's a good one.
By the way, let me. It don't look like we're getting any other questions here, or am I missing them?
You have a couple.
Okay.
I got a couple of them in there for you.
Oh man, all the crazy puns over here. Here's a question, Andre, a serious question. Thank you, Andre. He says, "Did you print the touch plate holder you designed on Design Spark Mechanical?" Yes, I did. And a matter of fact, it's right here. Nothing fancy, but it holds my little XYZ touch plate for my Avid, and the cable that's falls out the bottom. I was telling the folks in the coffee session, when you mount stuff to that extruded aluminum, you have to have those little I don't know what you call them, the little things that are spring loaded, and you slide them in and they're tapped. Well, I got ready to mount this after I made this, and I was going to take a picture for the video. And I get out there, and I had one of those things. In fact, I had it in my hand earlier today. I don't know what I did with it. And then I also didn't have the right length of screw. I had an M5, but I had one that was too short and another one that was too long and would bottom out. So I'm like, okay, well, how am I going to finish this video? I got to take a picture of this thing, showing it in there. So I ended up taking some double-sided tape, putting on the back of this, stuck it on the leg, and then put the XYZ touch plate in there. And it looked like it was mounted because the tape was holding it up there. And then as soon as because I hate that double-sided tape stuff. But as soon as I got done taking the picture, I took it back off, peeled it off, and now I've got to order one more of those little things, whatever they're called.
You better order two because you'll never find the one you had.
Well, yeah, you're probably right. But I've got to get the M5 screws I had was a 10 millimeter length, and then I had another one that was like 16. The 16 was too long, it would bottom out, and the 10 was too short, it wouldn't grab enough threads. So I need something like a 12 or 14 or something. And so I got to get screws anyway. But yeah, this turned out pretty nice. Like I said, it's not fancy, but it'll get that thing up off, because I had just been taking that touch plate and just kind of throwing it up under the shelf, and I really needed something like that for a long time. But that's my goal with this Design Spark Mechanical stuff, is I'm trying to get more proficient at using that to do 3D modeling, and I'm wanting to make useful things off the 3D printer. And I do mean useful things. I got my desk is a mess right now because I've got a bunch of stuff on here that I'm measuring as I draw to, little projects. But I've got, well, I can tell you what one. This is, most of these power supplies, we use these power supplies all over. I've got a ton of these things. There's one back there. Well, there's one on the Ender 3. There's one down there on that little demo board. Here's one that's loose. There's one up there on the shelf. I don't know how many out back in the shop. But these things, when you look at these, some of them are 36 volts. Some of them this one is 48. Some of them are 60. But really, they're pretty much basically this same size. Now, when you get to even the 24 volt ones, I think are still this size. When you get to the 12 and 5 volt ones, they'll be much smaller. But I'm trying to design like some clips that I can just screw those to something like the inside of a control box, and then take these and just pop them in, and the clips hold them good enough where they're not going to fall out, because you got to figure out some way to mount them. They have these little threaded things where you can buy those little brackets, but I never have any of those brackets. When you order a power supply, they don't come with them. So I was just figuring I would make some kind of little brackets that will hold those things. I got another little thing. I like to use these. I don't have the fan itself, but I like to use the AC fans, the ones that run off of 110, and they usually come with these really flimsy, In fact, you can see there's a hole where a little piece of this one is broke off. So that was another thing I was going to make, is make a little bit stiffer fan guard or grill, whatever you want to call this. So all the things that I'm going to try to use that Design Spark Mechanical for are something that I'm actually going to use. It's not going to be like stuff like this. Like this was the little test print, these little cute puppies and stuff. I'm not going to be doing any of that stuff. It's all going to be something that's useful. And that's why I'm starting to do this. I guess we'll call it a tutorial. It's basically I'm just showing step by step of whatever I'm drawing. Now you may not want to learn how to draw what I'm drawing, but if you watch what I'm doing, you'll learn how Design Spark Mechanical works, and learn about the different, what this button does and what that button does, how you put a radius on this, how do you change the thickness on all that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm doing those videos. And in fact, I'm going to have another one come out tomorrow morning. Making it's nothing fancy again, but it's a desk cell phone holder. No, that's not what I was going to stand, I guess. Because when you're old like me, if you set your phone down flat and then it lights up, somebody sent you a text message or something, I can't read it. I have to pick it up and get it at the right angle. So I'm making a stand where it can sit on and be at the right angle. So just little things like that, things that are useful, and that's the kind of stuff you'll see me do. But I got a list. In fact, it's right here in front of me. There's probably a dozen or so things on this list that I'm going to make using Design Spark Mechanical, and a lot of them are woodworking type things, like push sticks, different kinds of jigs and fixtures and stuff that don't necessarily have to be made out of metal or something. PLA would be fine for a lot of this stuff. So, all right, let's see if we got a few more questions, and then we'll get on this giving away this other router bit here. Let's see.
I'm throwing a bunch of them in there for you.
Oh man,
I downloaded the Design Spark and played around with it a little bit.
Well, I'm wondering, is there anybody either here or because I know a lot of you guys join me on the coffee sessions on weekday mornings too. Is there anybody that has actually tried to draw the same thing I did step by step to see if they could do it? Because really, if you watch the video, you may not want one of these, but I mean, it'll hold other touch plates besides just mine. It's probably big enough. It would hold pretty much any of them, I would think. But I'm just curious if anybody has downloaded the software, because, again, it's free. And, you follow that step by step, you should be able to, by the time you get done, you should be able to have one of these. Just like I did. So did you have any luck with that, Ryan, or have you?
Yeah.
Tried to follow along.
I followed along with the with your video and on it, and I made the box and all that, and I've been going through a couple of their other videos and stuff too to just see, like following along with the ones I found to see if I could make it, and it seems to me like it's a little bit more user friendly than Fusion. I always get screwed up in Fusion.
Yeah, I think that, but then you got to take that with a grain of salt, because I don't like Autodesk products to begin with. So I would think anything is better than that. But I've heard other people that on YouTube and other places that have said the same thing, that it's not as big a learning curve as Fusion 360. It's much much more user friendly. All right, Tim, got a question here. Do you zero off the workpiece or the bed? Yes. I zero off both, but not at the same time, but it just depends on the situation, what I'm doing. There's times when it's better to use the bed, and other times when it may not matter and you can use the workpiece. But usually if you're like say you got something programmed for in VCarve Pro, let's say you told it that it was 750 thick, 0.75 thick, 0.750. And then you get out there and you measure your board and it's like 0.777. So it's a little thicker, whatever. Well, if you do your workpiece and you're going to be cutting you're going to be cutting it out. It's going to be you're going to be parting it out with a profile cut. If you set your Z0 to your bed, it's still going to cut it out. It's just the only difference is, say you tell it to go 1/8 inch deep. Well, that first cut is going to be a little deeper than 1/8 because it thinks that it's only 750 thick when it might be 0.77 thick. But it's not going to hurt anything. It'll work fine like that. And then other pieces, other times, if you're wanting to make sure you get a pocket and it needs to be exactly a certain depth, then you might be better off to zero from the top of the material. But yeah, but that's why I don't know what kind of software you're using, but in Vectric stuff, that's why they have it where you can do it both ways. Okay, Kenneth says probably it's show topic. What's a good hourly rate for designing, modeling time, and hourly rate for CNC runtime? I see, here we go. I see people all the time try to do videos and try to answer that question. And I think there's no right or wrong answer. What do you want to make? What do you think you're worth? How good of, like right now, I wouldn't try to set an hourly rate for me to draw something in Design Spark Mechanical because I'm still learning it myself. So I'm not that fast at it. Now, if somebody wanted me to draw something in SolidWorks, I would be able to give them a much better rate because it wouldn't take me near as long in SolidWorks it might now because I'm probably a little rusty. I haven't used it in a while, but back in the heyday when I was using it all the time, you'd be surprised some of the stuff I could draw in just a few minutes. It's pretty powerful stuff. But and same thing with machine time. There's just no right or wrong answer to that. It depends on your location. Basically, if this is just me talking now, if somebody asked me to make something on a CNC, I would basically, if I wanted to do it, I never want to do stuff like that. So first I'd tell them no. But if I did want to do it, I would just say, well, here's my price. And if they go, oh, well, that's kind of high, I go, okay, see ya. Because I know what I want to make on the job. And if I can't make it, I ain't going to do it. Simple as that. So that's going to vary from, Georgia to California to New York or wherever you're at. It's there's I don't
Ever
know,
evolving.
but I see guys all the time doing videos talking about that, like how you should price your work stuff. I'm like, you just need to shut up because you don't know where they live or what the market's like, or these people
Yep.
just, some of them just try to. There's just no one size fits all on some of this stuff, and that's my 2 cents worth right there. Let's see if we got any other questions here. I gotta start deleting some of these because I keep looking at the same questions.
Oh. I put a couple of the comments about the Design Spark in there for you.
Okay, let me get rid of some of these.
And Mark actually had a really good idea for somebody that's building a plywood CNC. He got his originally cut out at a cabinet shop, and so they used nice plywood on it, and they cut the pieces for him pretty cheap, and he was out the door before just for going to lunch. So if you got a local cabinet shop in your area that does custom stuff, hey, see if they can cut them up for you.
Yeah. David says there's some great holders for the stop and touch plate on Thingiverse for the Avid CNC. I tell you, there's everything on Thingiverse. But see, if I'd have just got it from Thingiverse and printed it, that wouldn't help me learn Design Spark. So I'm trying to stay off of Thingiverse and make myself. I'm not even going there and looking to get ideas. I know how I want to do it, and maybe if I looked, there'd be one on there that'd be a lot similar to what I'm going to do. But I'm trying to learn Design Spark mechanical software, so that's why I'm drawing up all these things.
Now, do you put the stuff you draw up on Thingiverse?
I haven't, because like I said, there's probably a million of these kind of things up there.
But you got to look at it like yours is better.
Well, I don't know that it's any better. If anybody said, "Hey, I don't have Design Spark and I don't know how to do this. Would you send me the file so I can?" I'd send them the file. But I'm probably not going to waste time putting it on Thingiverse. Let's see. All right, so I got that one. Yeah, I thought about that too. Andrew is making something that would, and I might still do that in addition to the other little clips. Do some DIN rail mounts. Because they do make a nice clean look in a controller. So yeah, that's a good idea. I might do those in addition. I'm thinking more just something that I can hold the clip up there and it'll have a couple of holes to put a screw, like if you're putting it right into a plywood box, and then the power supply would just snap in. And then if you want to change things around, you can pull them out real easy. But DIN rail's a good one too. George says, I watched your video on Design Spark. Thanks for putting it out there. The idea of making useful stuff is well received. Looking forward to other things to make. Thank you, George. I noticed that in the comments that I got on that first video, there were quite a few that were saying, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm not going to make junk. I'm making, try to make stuff that's useful. So there's enough junk stuff out there.
Well, the best is when you do it yourself and you model it up and then spit it out either CNC or your 3D printer. Yeah. Self-satisfaction is really nice.
And another thing that I think is going to be useful down the road too is, even though it may be something that would be better suited to be made out of aluminum, and I could, cut it with my Gatton or my Avid or something. But, when you're still trying to figure out how the design's going to work, especially if you're doing something tricky, it's a whole lot easier to spend a few bucks on some plastic to make it and then go, okay, yeah, I think this would work. This is the end thing here. Now it's time to go cut it out of aluminum. But you don't want to cut a bunch of aluminum, and go through 14 iterations of a product. It's easier just to do it out of the plastic. So I've got some ideas for some things that I'm sure I'm going to be doing it that way down the road. All right, let's see here.
Marcia hit you up with a super chat.
Oh, thank you. Where'd it go? Okay, Marcia Jackson, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
She had a comment right after that too.
Oh, wait a minute now. Oh, I see how you roll, Marcia. Can give me a super chat and then blame me for your ender. But no, that's awesome. Says you're a bad influence.
Message has been received.
I have an ender coming Monday, and because of the slicers, I bought a new laptop. There you go. Blame it on me. That's all right though. I get blamed for a lot of stuff like that, and that's okay. I'm glad I can get people that want to do stuff. Landis says, how popular is the auto squaring feature with separate limit switches on CNC gantry? Well, I would say it's pretty popular. I mean, my Avid does that. I don't do it on the Gatton, but the Avid has two of those proximity switches on the front. It only has one in the back because that's just an over travel switch. But the two in the front are to do the auto squaring.
Okay. 3D Buckeye is very appreciative of the comments about Design Spark because of Fusion's big learning curve.
Okay. Did I miss that one somewhere? I didn't see that one.
No, it just happened.
Oh, okay.
We're
there it
pushing
is.
buttons at the same time.
Yeah, and I am still, like I said, I've only been piddling around with this design. I just heard somebody, I think it was Bob Woods, heard him mention it 2 or 3 months ago, or I don't know, a couple months ago, I think. And I downloaded it and because it was free, and I thought, I got to looking at it, and I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. But it's only recently that I started going, all right, I'm going to buckle down and I'm going to learn how to do this. And I watched a few tutorials and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, this is really simple. So it's all starting to click. I don't know everything, but that's why when I do these tutorial videos, I'm working on something, and then after I get it all figured out, then I'm thinking, okay, well now I can do a video, and it will not only help other people to learn the steps I'm taking to do it, but it'll also keep me on my toes too. So that's I wanted to show this coming here. He says, I did a set of Ruger revolver grip on Design Spark and then carved it on my CNC. Yeah. Right now, a lot of the things I'm doing, I'm, putting them in the, saving the STL and then putting them in the slicer and running them on the Ender 3 3D printing. But, there will be stuff that I can do that I can take right out there and run on the, instead of putting it in the slicer, I'll be putting it in the VCar Pro and running it on either the Avid or the Gatton out there, or the Revolution, or the side. I got 4 machines out there. But all right, we've got 32 entries. Let me mention this one more time, just in case somebody's just popped in here. But tonight's Genie Bit drawing is sponsored by Cadence Manufacturing and Design. There's a website there, www.cadence cadencemfgdesign.com. And if you want to get in on that drawing, which I'm going to do in just a minute or two, put in hashtag mini if you haven't already, and you'll be entered in the drawing. We've got, let me show it over here. We got 32 of them right now. And since I just mentioned it again, I'll give a minute or two for okay, I was thinking okay, I see what's going on. Okay, yeah, it popped up a couple. But we will be doing that. And while that's showing, I will go back here and show you exactly what the Mini Genie is. It's that beautiful thing right there.
Nice.
The mini is it's an 1/8" one, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's looks like it's the compression, the up down.
Oh yeah.
Because you can look right there at the tip of it, and I believe that's the 1/8 inch one.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Cody's one smart dude.
he is, isn't he? He's a good dude too, man. Give these things away every week.
Heck yeah. I saw not like a couple hours ago. I saw the something on Facebook of somebody doing the V carve of some stars with the new the V groove Jenny.
The groovy Genie.
Yeah,
I think that's what he called
it
that one.
looked like it was in Purple Heart, and man,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
that's a cool bit.
All right, we are at 36 entries. I don't know that it's climbing anymore, so we're going to go ahead and get. Man, did you just save a whole bunch more things over here, or did I miss these?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's some more. All right, well let's do the drawing real quick, and then we'll try to answer these last few because I think there's one or two over there that I missed. So, all right, this is for the Mini Genie. Good luck, everyone. And here we go. Tim DeLine.
Nice.
Congratulations. You are the winner of tonight's Mini Genie. Hot diggity.
That's a good avatar, Tim. I like that avatar.
Yeah, that is a good one. That is a good one. All right. So congratulations to Mike for winning the Ender 3 stuff, and congratulations to Tim for winning the Mini Genie. And let me hit these last few questions, and we're running way long tonight, and we got to get out of here. Roger the Tinker says, my problem is I get frustrated when using any CAD because my mind is 4 to 5 steps ahead of what I have on the screen. Yeah, I can kind of see that. I mean, when you're drawing, you know what you want to do, but sometimes there's certain steps, just like with anything. It's like building anything. You gotta have a good foundation. That's like pretty much all parts start out with a sketch, whether it be Fusion 360, SolidWorks, Design Spark, Mechanical, or whatever. Pretty much everything starts with a sketch. Let's see here. Curtis says, I did download it, liked your tutorial, didn't see where to clock a circular set of holes, shapes like Vectric. Well, you can do it. I just haven't done a video that shows that yet. But there's a way to do it. You can use that move, and then when you click on the move, there's a way you select revolve, and that's what it'll do. You have to, when those little arrows pop up, you have to move it to the center point of what you want to revolve. Like if you're making a knob and you're wanting to put the shape and have it go around the round part of the knob, you would click that, but you would have to make sure you move those arrows and make the origin of the move in the center of that. And that'll all come. Like I said, I've got another video coming out tomorrow morning, and it's really simple too. But I'll be getting to some of the more complex thing. Well, I say complex. I don't think any of it's really hard. It's really a lot easier than what some of them are. Okay, I think we've got all the questions answered. I think it's probably time to shut her down for the night. I appreciate you guys coming, hanging out with me, Ryan, Sean, and Mr. Paul. I appreciate you.
Thank
Y'all,
you.
like I said, y'all welcome anytime. Oh, I have not mentioned this, and I want to do this before we go. If you saw my Facebook post the other day, I want to mention this while we still got a few people in here, but not next week, but the week after, May the 7th, I'm going to do what I'm calling the Ladies' Night show. And I'm trying to, we always have, now don't take offense, guys, but we always have a bunch of crotchety old men on the show. And I keep thinking, I know there's women CNCers out there, because I see them post pictures of stuff on social media and stuff. So I want to have some ladies on the show, and let's talk CNC. That's that's so it's going to be, not, like I said, not next week. Next week is April 30th, but the week after that, May the 7th. I'm hoping that I can get some folks to come on. I really kind of had my doubts that even anybody would even reply or comment, but I had about 4 or 5 right away to go, yeah, it's about time you do something like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope we have lots of gals on here, and let's talk CNC. I bet we can learn a lot from those gals running, because I'm sure they look at they look at things a lot different than we do. So I'm sure we will get a whole new perspective on CNC stuff. So if you are a lady CNCer out there in the chat tonight and would like to come on here and be on the panel and hang out with us, be sure and send me a message, get in contact with me, and everybody's welcome. We've got a total of me and Brian and then 2 other guests on here, but we can do I think up to 12 with this StreamYard. So everybody's welcome. Come on and let's hear what you got to say. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you all again for hanging with me this long. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I always have a lot of fun doing those giveaways too. So we'll be back next week with at least the tool giveaway. I'm pretty sure Cody's wanting to keep doing that every week, and who knows, I may have some more stuff to give away. So anyway, we're going to get out of here. Everybody have an awesome Saturday night. Have a great weekend, and we will see y'all next week. Take care, everybody.